Well, hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Community Collective Podcast. I am Travis Howell, the Executive Director of the Davison Area Chamber of Commerce. My co host, Johnny B. Good, who I have been with the past few episode recordings, is out and about working today. Our guest today is someone that has his business has been in my home and helped out with a huge project here. A lot of you have probably used him as well. So today I would like to welcome Rob Youness from Great Lakes Painting. Rob, how are you today?
Hey, Travis, I'm doing well. Thanks a lot for having me on today.
I know several years ago you guys helped do some painting in some of our rooms at our house and loved it. And so, but didn't really have a chance to really kind of talk to you about how this idea came about. And the hope is that today we get to learn more about you and your business and kind of what you guys offer people. So, we'll jump right in with a nice, easy one that probably a lot of people are curious about. Rob, can you share with us what inspired you to start Great Lakes Painting, and where are some of the challenges that you have faced in establishing your business in probably a pretty competitive industry?
Yeah, so I started painting when I was 15. And during that time, I'd always help out coaching at the school, mostly basketball, under Dick McLaughlin. And that kind of merged into on the side, I was painting bedrooms for teachers, things like that. I always wanted to have a leadership role. So, what better way is there to be a leader than to own your own business? So that's kind of how I got started and just, you know, faking it till I made it type of thing.
I love it. So now,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you were like me. I remember my parents always said, "Hey, we need your help painting this," or something at our house at the time. But even as I got older, I really found painting kind of one of those like things that's rewarding. Especially I feel like in my house when I'm painting over an old color, because you see that progress, and it's really sometimes it requires in my head like a little bit of focus to really that way I don't brush up against something. But when you finish it, I really think I've accomplished something because like, oh, look at this. This looks so much different and so new and fresh. And so
Yeah.
starting at the age of 15, you really must have had really enjoyed doing something like that.
Yeah. I always enjoyed it from day one. It's kind of like, you just put sports talk radio on or good radio station and let your mind wander. It's very similar to like, maybe you like to mow the grass. And it's because your mind can just wander while you're out there. And painting kind of has the same effect. And to hit on what you said, seeing a customer's face after the finished product is priceless.
Yeah. Well, I know for us, it was you guys painted, it was at my daughter's room. And it was definitely something I was not skilled enough to do because at the time she wanted kind of some stripes with glitter paint. And I was like, I can't do this. I don't know where to go. But I knew of you guys. And as soon as I reached out, you guys were like, oh, it'd be no problem. We can handle that. And to me, what was a challenge was nice to go to some place that I know I could trust and do a good job. And I'm sure, like in your line of business, that is one thing that you guys really strive for is kind of that customer service, kind of, you guys are coming into people's, in my head, their homes and really
Yeah.
going into their spaces. So,
Yeah, we try to hang our hat on, doing the right thing always, always. I've got a sign in my office here, and it says every job is a self portrait of the person who does it,
oh, yeah.
and autograph your work with excellence. And so I truly believe in that. Do the right thing when nobody's looking and always do the best job that you're capable of doing, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. So, kind of building on this story a little bit, Rob, when did you officially start?
So I started Great Lakes Painting as a business in 2007.
Okay.
And at that time, it was Great Lakes Contracting and Drywall. And I quickly got rid of the drywall part because, well, for one, I'm not a drywaller. I found that out very quickly.
I'm with you.
Yeah, but I started in the back of rusted out Ford Explorer. I didn't have any money, not much experience in business, and I definitely didn't have the respect of my peers yet. So there was a lot to learn. I was able to do it through friends and family and doing quality work. That's how I built the business. And then in 2012, I purchased Hilgendorf Painting that was in Davison 25 years or so. And that really doubled our business overnight. And from there, I started to hire employees and I had a true customer list, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah. Now here's a question before we kind of move along. Do you still enjoy painting? I mean, now you're doing all the business day-to-day stuff, but there are times when you're like, I'm just gonna go paint for a little bit myself and zone out.
Yes. And I wish I do enjoy painting and I wish I could do it more often because the running the business side is not always fun and games. And it'd be nice to shut the brain off and just go paint for 4 or 5 days. But every time I try to do that, I find myself, 1 to 2 days in, and I'm calling to the bullpen to have a couple guys come in and help finish up.
I guess you got to save that painting for when you go home, right? And they
That stuff takes a long time. Yep.
And I will say, as you watched your business grow, I mean, from you driving around painting to purchasing a business and hiring employees. And I love that you're saying was that basically every job is a self-portrait of who does it.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into your business philosophy. What sets painting apart from other painting services in Michigan? And how do you and your team maintain that high quality and customer satisfaction as part of your business philosophy?
Yeah. So we always just try to do what we say we're going to do. Don't, if you say you're going to put two coats on the wall, put two coats on the wall. And then just do the best quality work that you can do. And if you always do that, there's always going to be touch ups and warranty work. I think not running away from those fires that happen because things do happen. And it's more about how you take care of those issues than the issue itself. So I really pride myself on doing the right thing and that customer is always right mentality.
Well, and I'm sure there's always the challenges. I mean, when you go into someone's house, you're working with so many different people and so many different ideas. And some of them probably give you a little bit of information and say, okay, help me with this. And I'm probably sure some of them are a lot of details, wanting to make sure people are happy. I mean, because this chances are whatever you paint is going to be around for a couple years with them, and how is that? I mean, your customer satisfaction is, I know, always important, but you're dealing with such a wide range of individuals and ideas, I'm sure.
Yeah. So definitely we want the customer to be happy. And there are customers out there that you're not going to satisfy no matter what you do, but always try. And like I said, I think if you keep a high level of professionalism and you do a quality job, then that kind of stuff takes care of itself.
Yeah. Well, I know that's always an important part. And I think you really get that feeling when you meet your teams that are going into homes that they enjoy it. I mean, they have a good job, but they, like you said, they're feeling accomplished because of what they're doing in the homes. And I think that follows through too, that with you being a locally owned business, you're in the community. So you're not only, you know, painting people's homes that you maybe don't know, but you're also going in and painting a business or a home of people you're going to see at a local sporting event, or kids are going to play on the same sports team or being at school together. So I'm sure that that community engagement part is so important to you when I've talked to you, that given your longstanding presence in the community, how does Great Lakes painting really engage and contribute to the local area and especially like community projects that you're proud to support?
Yeah, so in Davis in particular, it's been a couple of years since we've done anything in terms of painting projects, but we try to give to local sports teams, sponsorships, those kind of things. And in Davison in particular, there's a mural on Main Street. It's been there probably 7, 8 years. We commissioned that mural. We wanted to give back something to the city. When Callis Park was built, we donated many hours of labor and paint to the pavilions and the flooring over there. Most recently, this year, we just painted the library for Lake Fenton schools. So we try to do at least one project a year. We kind of call it paint it forward
Yes.
instead of paint it or not pay it forward.
Yes.
And I might even do it again this year. We have a paint it forward where people can nominate someone to, usually we do like a kid's bedroom and some kind of a mural. I think one year we did a baseball themed room. Another year we did a Detroit Tigers room. So I plan on doing that this year. And typically we'll do that right around the holidays.
Okay. Yeah.
We try to give back through painting projects and donations and things like that. And
Well,
we hope that all the small businesses do that as well.
Well, and I found that out too. I consider myself still newer to the Davison area, even though I've been here for almost 17 years in the Davison area, but have really paid attention to how often, and a lot of people don't know it, that local businesses are not only supporting whether it's sport teams or donating their time, but also getting out there and helping out. And I love that too because I think this is stuff that we see every day. You think of like, we go to Lake Callis quite a bit as a family, or, that's where we have the festival of flags. And you probably so many other people, you see the mural downtown and you see it. But I think it makes it even more unique that it's something that was done by a local business owner that cares about the community and just trying to find new and creative ways to really just show their support and just create that community pride, which I love that too. And
Yeah,
and I think for you guys, you're such a big company as you've grown that you're in multiple communities doing these things. I think that is something that our community, especially here in Davison, really has been very fortunate is like all the business support that's out there in the communities.
a great group of business people. I know more business owners in Davison than I do anywhere else. That's where I was kind of born and raised, so to speak. Can't imagine growing up anywhere else. All those business leaders, many of them are gone now, but a very big part of my upbringing.
Yeah. So Rob, what is it like having a business that's active in the community that you grew up in? I mean, that means a lot to you and that community pride too, as you've grown up and you've seen things and now you're so involved and you have your family here in the area too. And I think that probably even adds to even more of the pride when you go buy something and think, oh, I've helped out that house or we've done a project at that community location. I'm sure growing up here, that's something that means a lot more to you, especially.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride into that. Obviously, in some respects, it makes it easy because I already know most of the people. They know me, and there's a trust factor that was already built before we ever pulled out a paintbrush. And that's pretty rewarding just to know that they chose Great Lakes Painting over the competition. And I hope that the reason is the relationships that were built way before that. So
Yeah. So now this is something that when we're kind of thinking of ideas to talk to you about, in what ways has your business embraced innovative practices or like technologies to enhance the services you provide? And what impact have those innovations had on your operations?
eh, talking about innovation, like for me, because I started a business at such a young age, just learning processes, whether it be, a process for billing, a process for production, process for estimating, all of those things kind of learning on the fly and always trying to tweak them to make them better. And then, I think everybody nowadays is using social media and Google for marketing. It's been huge for our business in terms of lead generation. And then just it's so helpful to use those outlets to stay top of mind, which I think is probably the most important thing for any service business is when somebody needs a service, you want them to think about you first. And so I don't know how innovative or enhanced technology it is, but because now, these social media outlets have been there quite some time, but I can see now, like the younger generation, they're not on Facebook. They're going to be on TikTok, and I'm not. I don't know how to use TikTok or Snapchat or any of those. If you want to tap into that market, I think you're going to have to learn how to use those outlets next.
Don't worry, Rob, I'm with
Yeah.
you. That's why I have kids. My daughter teaches me so many new things sometimes, or new lingos to use, and it makes me feel like I'm getting older by the minute every time she comes home from school.
I think that the good old days of door to door marketing or just word of mouth are kind of starting to diminish. I see it in my business, the older contractors that have survived 30 years just on word of mouth. I think if they're not doing any digital marketing, they're starting to fall behind.
Right. So now something I was thinking of, as you guys have a good long history and you start at such a young age, what has been your either favorite or most rewarding project that you guys have worked on through your
Oh,
business?
I tell you what, this year we just repainted Flint Cultural Academy for Eric Liskey and Jim Vaness. And that project's really rewarding because for one, it's a large scale project. It was very colorful, which kind of makes the pictures cool. And just knowing that they trusted us to do that repaint was very rewarding. I think not only for me personally, but for our team. It was kind of an honor to get to do that project. And then, in addition to that, one of the cool ones that we did a few years ago is we did an epoxy system at the fire hall there, City of Davison, for Brian Fluelling, and the pictures of that turned out awesome. And just being able to do some of these larger commercial projects, I think, are my favorite ones right now,
Well, yeah,
currently.
and it's you think about the amount of use or visibility they're going to get, which is I think amazing. Painting a school, and then you think of all the students and the parents that are going to go in there, and it really they notice it when they go in, or like the fire department. Talk about a place that's used nonstop from either community events or the fire department actually doing their job. That it's kind of unique to hear about those because you don't
Yeah,
really, you go by them, you see them like, oh, I wonder, like those are new colors or new project that's been done, which is I think that's great to see that there's such a wide variety of projects you guys do work on. Now, the next question is what has been the most challenging project your business has done?
I think the most challenging projects, and I'll use plural because it's really the high end residential new construction jobs. They just take forever. A lot of custom finishes.
Okay.
And the biggest challenge is that you really got to have skilled painters on those projects. And we all know tradesmen have been hard to come by. Skilled tradesmen in the past 10 years, I would say, just encourage these young people to get into the trades because we need them so bad. And you can really provide yourself with a nice career. So I think that the big new construction, high end residential are probably the most challenging.
Okay. So, as you're looking forward to the future, what new goals or expansions are you considering for Great Lakes painting?
Yeah, so we've recently looked at buying out some smaller companies to gain some more skilled painters. Right now, we have about 25 guys, and we can sell enough work always, no matter how many people we have, we can always sell the work. So the biggest challenge is always the production side. And this year, we put a lot more emphasis on the commercial painting side. If we continue to grow that, who knows, maybe in other locations even in the future.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I know sometimes that changes, but as a business owner, you always have to be looking towards the future and what the plans are. I know you do such a wide variety of projects, whether it's in someone's home, new builds, fire departments, and schools. If a local business or individual that's listening today, what is the best way for them to reach out to Great Lakes Painting to schedule an estimate or get a project on your list to get accomplished at their house?
Yeah, best way. So our phone number is 1-800 painting. We can also be found on Facebook at Great Lakes 1-800 painting or our web address www.glcmich.com. And customers can go through our website and type in all their information and actually schedule an estimate right through the website as well. There's
Perfect.
no job is too big and no job is too small. We
What
do
I
everything
think
from just painting a front door to a large scale school. Yeah, thank you.
I find it so fascinating too that you started at such a young age with something you really enjoyed and you've grown it into a full-time business that is looking at the future and really changing people's lives by making their house or their business something unique to them and something that they're happy with. So, Rob Youness, thank you so much from Great Lakes Painting for coming on the Community Collective podcast today.
Thank you, Travis.